Why hello everyone and welcome back to The Space. This is where we do the hairs. Amanda, my model, come in sister. Yes, come here. Nadia, join me. Why are you still over there? Why won't she come over here? Oh, she's here. Hello everyone, do you remember my sister? Hello sister. Hello. This is Amanda, and we are back today to style, not my hair, because it's already looking fire, but we're gonna style her hair because, well, what's happening, Amanda?
Spring has sprung.
Spring has flourished, and our hair is, well, it's in need of change. So we're gonna show you guys Amanda's routine for the changing weather, and I'm going to style using a technique that I have explained before, finger coiling. We're gonna use this technique to style Amanda's hair for the ultimate frizz prevention. And I will show you exactly how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna show you too, so that you can live your best life after this. Let's get to it. Okay, so let's get a before of Amanda's hair. Yeah, get a little closer there, Amanda. What's going on? What day is this? Yeah, this is
a day 3 hair. So
day 3? Yeah. Time for a refresh. We're gonna wash Amanda's hair and we will come back when it is soaking wet. Fresh, wet, and ready. We're gonna start applying Amanda's products immediately! Immediately! Because it's gotta be super wet. So let's get right to it, shall we? Today we are using, grab the products. What are we using today, Amanda?
Devacurl styling cream and a pure flaxseed gel by Curlmix.
Yes, ma'am. And we're gonna explain why we're using them while we're doing it. But first, let's get to it. So the first thing I'm doing is putting the styling cream immediately in the wet hair. And when I'm using this much, it's gonna be just enough in her extremely long, annoying hair because her hair is so wet, it's gonna help to distribute this product evenly. So I first apply it to her mid-lengths and ends. And then whatever's left on my hands, I attach to the top. And then I take my brush and I brush it through. Here's a tip, you don't have to be afraid of brushing your hair when your hair is wet enough because the curls will come back. You don't wanna brush your hair obviously when it's dry, but when it's wet, it's totally fine. So I take this brush and I brush through my styling product because it will ensure even saturation. Oh, it's already looking extremely moisturized now because the styling cream is quite a heavy, thick cream. That's why Amanda likes the Devacurl so much. So now that I know I have enough, I can see a little bit of the product in her hair. You can't see now. And it feels like I've got a really good slip. Now I'm gonna start working through my sections to define. So I'm finger coiling. I mean, this is something if you wanna do to your whole head, like you have the time, all the power to you. Your hair is gonna be fire and on fleeky. Let's just keep that away. Your hair is gonna look incredible every time you finger coil. But you gotta be finger coiling correctly. So how I like to do it is I take section sizes the size of the curl. You don't wanna take it too big and you don't wanna take it too small because then you can get really hideous results. Hideous. I take vertical sections. So I always like to rake 90 degrees off of the head, off from where the hair falls, right? To already start getting some extra volume in through the roots. So after I do this, right, I'm raking, everything is brushed out and I'm pulling it outwards. If I put my hand there, you can start to see where the curls are actually clumping, right? You can see where the separation is. That's what I want to grab. So from the root area, we'll grab and then I twirl it around my finger. And that was so easy and effortless, and you got this beautiful curl. So easy and effortless because I grabbed it right from the root. I've got a good amount of product and slip on the hair. You can even see there's excess product in my hands, which is always useful. And I grab and I twist, and it's gonna be this gorgeous defined ringlet. So this I will do all over her head, and it really doesn't take that long, right? So I take a thin vertical section, and I pull it out, and I rake from the roots because when you have a lot of new growth, a lot of you complain about little baby hairs that you have. You'll have short little hairs close to your root, which is just new growth, and that tends to create a lot of frizz for you guys. So that's why I say you gotta rake, so really comb through all the hairs. You want to smooth everything down. And when you start twisting, twist right from the root. It's going to smooth all of the hair down and it's going to lock it in to a beautiful curl that will hold and last so long, a whole week, depending on your lifestyle. Amanda's definitely loving this right now because she doesn't have to do her hair. And this is what I do. So here we are. So when I'm talking about the size of the curl, this is typically how thick each curl I'm grabbing on Amanda's head is. And that's because of how thick and how big her curl is. So if you take a look at the diameter of her curl, like how big is the circle, that's kind of how big of a section I'm grabbing when I get to the root. So your section size that you're twisting should mimic the size of the curl. For example, in my head, I would take much smaller So for example, in my curls, I have to take much smaller sections when I'm finger coiling because I have a tighter coil of curl. Whereas her curls are bigger, I can take a bigger section. If I take too small of a section in her hair, it's kind of gonna look stringy and it's gonna look a little bit weird. It's not gonna look natural. And if I take too big of a section, if I take this whole clog and I twist this from down here, what's this gonna give me? A sausagey looking curl that's not even like meant to be, and frizz at the roots because there's too much hair in here. I'm gonna switch around. Many of us do have different textures and curl patterns in our hair. So for your looser areas, if you have looser curls on top or looser curls on the bottom, when you finger coil, you can actually help to enhance and encourage that spring. And you can give your style the appearance of a more consistent look. So when I do this to the whole head, every curl is going to be popping. Every curl is going to be on fleek. I'm going to continue this along Amanda's head. I will show you what we're going to do when we get to the top. This is how to get carpal tunnel 101. We're going to part Amanda's hair. Actually, shall we do a no part today?
No part.
Amanda's got really thick hair, so I'm taking another section in through the middle and I'm leaving out her very top kind of bang area. Amanda, smile and look pretty because you're front faced in the camera. Now let's say you ain't got time to do this to your whole head. And also, who's looking all the way underneath? You can do this technique right here where I'm doing it, right around the face, right around the moneymaker. Give it a smile, give it a smile. Right around the moneymaker, this is where you want to define. And this also goes for people that are transitioning, where your curls probably on the top and around your face have the most damage. So sometimes those curls really need extra help. Do this.
I can honestly say that
Your hair looks best every time I do it?
No. I can honestly say that ever since I started finger coiling my hair, it has gotten curlier, and like the curls actually have learned to form by themselves sometimes in the same form that I would twist them in. So for example, I'll show you guys what my hair used to look like. So I had a lot of heat and damage from color.
Not from me.
So one of the things I did during my transition was I started finger coiling often. Not necessarily my entire head, but especially around my face where my bangs and things were, because I had a lot of damage there and my curls were not curling at all there. And now sometimes I'm able to style and not finger coil at all. My curls have kind of formed somewhat of a muscle memory, so they actually just form that way themselves.
You just said the hair gained muscle memory.
Yeah. It did.
By doing this repetitively, it's like straightening your hair out repetitively.
Yeah, exactly.
Eventually, it just starts to stay straight. But with this, if you continue to twirl it and curl it and keep it defined, it starts to do that naturally on its own.
Exactly.
But now I think we've gone a little off topic and a little over transitioning, which we'll create a whole dedicated video to. The main reason why we're doing this now in the springtime with everything that's going on is because this is locking down any frizz in the hair shaft. The key is that you are doing this when there's enough slip in the hair, when it is wet enough. I know a lot of you struggle with the crown area and trying to get good definition there, and this technique works beautifully. Magic. So now we're moving on to the very top section. This is where she would part her hair, but we actually don't want to put a part in. What we want to do is let the hair fall naturally. So I'm going to work everything upwards, everything up. And if you were to do this to yourself, you would kind of tip your head forward, work it off of the head. Everything is off of the head for volume. I just still, same motion I'm scooping right from the root and I'm twisting up and letting that fall. And I'm not specifically parting the hair now already. I'm literally just holding this chunk of hair and I'm scooping out sections with my other hand and twirling. Am I making sense? Am I getting through to you? Maybe you'll have to see it in the end to believe it. Wowza, she's all twisted up and defined. But, move. But, cannot forget right now the most crucial phase of this styling.
You're hurting me.
I'm not that heavy.
You're hurting me.
Okay. In the springtime, if you are not finishing your hair with an emollient-like gel, a gel that has emollients in it that will help to seal in the curl, and just a gel in general for that hold after, your curls are not going to last. So we're gonna be using Curlmix Flaxseed Gel. This is from their moisture line. Amanda has been loving it, and I love it too because of how liquidy it is. Liquid gels are the way to go because of how easy they become to distribute in the hair. So let's show you how we do that. Ready? So how I'm going to apply this is take one pump, distribute it through my hands. Amanda, tip your head back for me a little bit. And I'm going to hug her hair oh so gently. You have to be oh so gentle, please. There's a reason why we did not do this when we were finger coiling. You don't want to finger coil your gel because that is going to give you really crunchy, really weird looking curls. Tip back for me. Now that I've hugged the hair, I'm going to scrunch and squeeze. Okay, and I'm going to do the same for the other sections. One more pump all around the top area. I'm doing this oh so gently, and really all it's doing is smoothing down any extra frizz or flyaways, smoothing everything down. See how defined and perfect that looks already? This is how your hair should look when it's wet. If it looks this good when it's wet, it's gonna look this good when it's dry. We're gonna go ahead now and diffuse her hair. If you need tips on diffusing, check out the diffuser video, and we'll be back when she's dry. Okay guys, so Amanda is fully dried. Let's show them what it looks like before we scrunch out the crunch. This is Amanda's hair with the hold from the gel. You can see amazing definition in her curls, and her hair actually kind of still looks wet, even though it's completely dry, just because of how defined the hair is and because there is gel to hold. So how do we combat that? How do we get the look of the softness of the curls? Well, we scrunch out the crunch and we seal it using a finishing product. What type of finishing product are you going to use? Well, it all depends on the kind of result that you want. What we're going to use today is some good old classic Moroccanoil. One pump, because a little bit goes a long way with this good old good stuff. And when you're scrunching out the crunch, you want to be very gentle. You're actually not just scrunching. Again, this is because it's an emollient and this is going to seal in the hair. You want to smooth it over. So I'm gently smoothing, hugging the hair with my hands. This is gently softening the shell, that cast that we have created. Now you can already see that it looks so much softer. She is complete. Wow! Be gentle. Oh my God. Look at this beautiful final result. Take a look at the root area. Remember when we styled it without a part? Everyone's hair naturally decides where it wants to go, and Amanda's hair knows what side. Okay, stop touching it. Once again, my work here is done. Let's close off this video with our positive comment of the week.
Thank you, Kelly, for your positive comment.
And what is our question of the week? Well, it's actually related to the good old combs. Curlmix is asking, is it true that silicones that are not water soluble dry out the hair in the long run? Absolutely. That is, if you're not properly washing them off. By using a good old sulfate shampoo, you will be able to properly cleanse off the silicones, the good old cones, from your hair and not have the drying results. So best of both worlds. Hope that answers your question. Any other questions that you guys may have,
leave them in the comments below. You can also find all the product links in the description below as well. And we shall see you
next week with a brand new video. Peace! Oh yes, if you want, I will be the model. Hi! To all the SEESTER'S of the world, Who else is doing this? If you didn't know, sorry, we're occupied for film. I'm gonna take my horse. Does it feel good when I massage your scalp? Why? Why? To the old town road.
Magic hands.
Ride till I can't no more. The acoustics in this room are incredible. That's why I think everyone sounds amazing in the washroom. We're almost there, guys. I'm getting delusional. Everyone sounds amazing in the washroom.
Not you.
I do.
No.
That sounds pretty good to me. Doesn't it to you? I'm gonna annoy Amanda if I do so.
Comment below if you're annoyed.
No! They love me!